your Chris 6 weather forecast.
That's right, and a very good Friday morning to you as the conditions are continuing to improve as far as the wintry precipitation opportunity. If you remember at this time yesterday, it was just a complete mess over the Lone Star State, and things have improved drastically as far as the snow, ice, and accumulations across the entire state. As you can see, most of it is moving off to the east of us, but even though it's clear, even though we're not looking at a whole lot of ice, it's still very, very cold all across the Lone Star State, and we're certainly seeing our fair share here in the coastal bend as well. So as we see what we have going on just offshore, you can see a few showers that are lingering off into the Gulf of Mexico. And as we move on forward here and zoom down into the coastal bend, you can see a little bit of some of that wintry precip that we had that was hovering near the coastline, essentially from the southern parts of Jim Wells County and pushing on up towards Baffin Bay and right near the coastline. That's where we had a little bit of some of that wintry precipitation fall, and we're seeing just a little bit of some ground clutter left over. So anywhere between just south of 281, south of Alice, pushing towards Kingsville, going along 77 and near the coast. If you're going to be traveling soon, that's where we could get some light glaze of ice possible on the bridges, overpasses, and flyovers, and we certainly advise you to drive with care out there. Now, as far as the storm reports from the National Weather Service, most of it was up in Beeville, which are wind chill reports stretching on up towards the Victoria Crossroads, and here into the city of Corpus Christi, we had 3 reports, mainly of sleet accumulation across the region. We had the extreme wind chill that was reported there just at 125, and then at 112 out at the Naval Air Station there was reporting of sleet in the area and ice beginning to accumulate on cars, vegetation, and outdoor infrastructure as well, with the same being said off in Flower Bluff. But again, a good portion of us seeing that, especially if you saw a little bit of some of the precipitation. Now, the reason why we want you to use caution over the bridges and overpasses because it's really easy for these roads to lose heat very quickly. Unlike where you don't have the bridge, the ground keeps everything pretty warm, so the bridge, you get that wind that comes around it and it drops the temperature very rapidly over the bridge, overpass, or flyover, and so that's why the bridges freeze first when we have these kinds of conditions, and that's why we urge you to use caution when we get conditions like this. It's not often we talk about it, but over the last couple of years it seems like we've been talking about it for some time. So if you're going to use the early morning commute, use caution and drive with care. We're below freezing, 28 degrees and northwesterly wind, still howling and coming in at 24 miles an hour, 31 in Robstown, 31 in Kingsville, and even into the upper 20s from Rockport down to Port Aransas, even Orange Grove, Alfurias are included, 26 in Beeville, 27 in Mathis, and 28 degrees over into the Freer area. And look at these winds. It's just brutal, as our meteorologist Stephanie Lauber mentioned. It's anywhere between 30 to 40 miles an hour, still gusting. So that's making it feel like 14 here in the city of Corpus Christi, as well as off in Port Aransas. Rockport is at 15, 14 degrees in Beeville, and lots of teens across the inland parts of the coastal bend. So with that said, we have the freeze warning obviously in effect until the noon time frame, and we also continue to have a wind chill warning across most of the coastal bend with the exception of the inland areas and into the southern parts of the region. So we've talked about this for quite some time for the last couple of days about the signs of hypothermia, and it really is something that you want to be cautious about. If you feel any of these symptoms, if you're going to be working outdoors or have to be outdoors for a prolonged period of time, you need to seek medical attention immediately, or at least get yourself to a warm spot as rapidly as you can. Also, winter weather fire safety tips. If you have the heaters that you have plugged in, it's a good idea to just keep one of them plugged in. Use caution if you're going to be using your fireplace as well. We just really want you to stay safe. So the hour-by-hour forecast, it's just going to continue to stay cold and windy all day long. The good news is that as we head towards the afternoon, we will start to see some sunshine as temperatures struggle to get into the lower 40s. So we'll call it 42. Some afternoon sun, still a hard freeze for tomorrow, so keep that in mind. We're not done with the cold just yet. Staying chilly on Saturday, 33 and 59 on Sunday. A few showers Monday, but finally getting into milder temperatures as we head into the middle of next week.